All right, let's get into this, guys. Buffness is next to godliness. I'm sorry, guys. He is all ego. If you're an egotistical, arrogant bodybuilder like I am, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's because when we're in the gym, we're aiming at perfection. We are constantly trying to create that within ourselves, given the tools that we have, using our form, our body. We're not building with clay, we're building with our body, right? And to do that, we need to do a couple things. You need knowledge. You need to get knowledge. You need to do research. You need to have comparisons. You need to have examples of the things that you want, the things that you want to aim for. It has to be a realistic, and it has to be an achievable way, right? We can't be Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, because we're not unnatural. We're not on ungodly amounts of testosterone and all these other supplements to get what we're looking for. We're trying to do the best with what we got, right? So we're a natural bodybuilder, putting in the time, putting in the grind, putting in the effort, putting together all the things that we have to accumulate to have an idea of what to do, how to do it, how to aim for it, even the idea of to aim for something. It's like you have to aim for an image. Well, what is that image? If I want an image of perfection, well, what is that image? Well, if we're saying Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, then now we have an idea of what we want to aim for. Now, how do I get from A to B? How do I get from me to that? What steps do I need to take? What muscles do I need to improve? If we're any bodybuilder with his salt will try to perfect his body from top to bottom, right? Not just upper body, not just arms, but calves, thighs, legs, the whole thing, right? From top to bottom. You're always looking to improve those things, and you're always putting in the work, putting in the effort, putting in the grind. And so what does that have to do with Christianity? What does that have to do with holiness, right? I think they have a lot to do with each other. With bodybuilding, when we're in the gym, we can look in the mirror. You can look at, these pictures of these bodies that you want to have, and you know what to aim for. You can look in the mirror, you can critique those things. You can critically look at your body and you can say, this isn't good enough, this isn't big enough, this isn't good, the place I want it to be. I know I need to focus on this. I know I need to perfect these areas. I need to bring up lacking body parts. And maybe that's because I've been lazy. Maybe it's because I haven't been focusing on those areas. Maybe it's because I've been feeling good about, working out these other areas so I could feel good about myself. And I realized that, without the whole package, without the perfection, then the perfection that I want is always going to be lacking. It's the same thing with Christianity. But the issue is in bodybuilding, you can look in the mirror, you can critically examine yourself on the outside. You have that physical form. You can take a look in the mirror, you can say, this is lacking, this needs to be improved, this is good enough. Other people can take a look at you and they can critically examine you. They can say, hey, this is good, this is bad, change this, do that, right? The issue is it's internal, our soul, our internal being is always trying to, if we are trying to be better people, if we're trying to be good people, if we're trying to be the best of who we can be with the people around us, and not just strangers, but the people we love, the people we care about, the relationships we want to cherish, and we want to, continue to raise those levels of relationships and bonds between people, right? Because life sucks and it's lonely without these people, and we need them to have true levels of happiness. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're alone, how much and how long will you be happy with what you have if you can't share it with other people, if you can't experience things with other people? In Christianity, we need something for ourselves to be able to look in the mirror and critically examine ourselves internally and be able to say, this is what's lacking within me. This is what needs to be improved. We need to have images. We need to have, Arnold and Ronnie. We need to have, a scientific breakdown of something. We need to have examples. We need to have, all the same things that we require in bodybuilding. Christianity requires that and more, because in Christianity, you don't have the image to look at immediately. You have to find it. And I'll tell you where to find it. And obviously, it's the Bible, right? The Bible is that mirror of ourselves, and it critically examines ourselves. It critically breaks down those areas and shows us and expresses to us the areas in which we're falling, which we're failing, which we're falling short on. And sometimes we don't even know, yet again, those images that we need to aim for. So it gives us examples like David, Saul, Jesus, Paul, all these different characters in the Bible, and it gives the examples of like, here's who succeeded, here's who failed, here's the reasons why they succeeded or they failed, here's the consequences, both good and bad, right? The Bible is constantly reflecting back to us the things that we need to change, the things that we need to improve. And if you're a person who's really willing to improve yourself, really willing to, live that golden rule of treat others like you wanted to be treated, then you have to look in this place, because you don't know how to treat yourself the best way you can. You don't know how to treat others the best way you can. But if you have this mirror that you can look into, which will critically show you the things that you need to improve on, and sometimes it'll walk you through the process. It'll just take you there and point out to you these things, these truths. And the mere fact that there's a revelation, something showing you where there's flaw is maybe in this other person, but also it's in yourself too, because every one of these characters are within you. And it will show you who to be and how to be a better person. So Christianity, bodybuilding, I think they're heavily, heavily connected. Ever since I started working out as a Christian, I just always, I felt the connection. I knew the connection. I knew both of them were making me better, and making me happier, making me feel more whole. And so just the two of them together is the best thing that I could have ever done. And I hope you take a chance to, if you're not a bodybuilder, I would say aim for it. I mean, have fun with it. Critically look at yourself and aim to be the best person you can be. And if you're not a Christian, then, give it a try. Give it a whirl. Give it a read. Open the Bible and see if you read from beginning to end and you don't connect with anything in there, then I'm not sure you're alive. But, that's going to be your muscle and fitness. That's going to be your bodybuilding.com. That's going to be your, you're showing how to do anything above and beyond what you are just born into and born with in the society we're born in. So take up bodybuilding, take up the Bible, do one of each or both of both. But give it a chance. I guarantee you will be genuinely surprised about the amount of happiness that it will bring into your life. With that being said, guys, I will see you again.